Did you ever watch something in Dragon Ball Z and genuinely wonder if you dreamed it? Like Gohan, Krillin, and Bulma wandering around a fake version of Namek that melts, shapeshifts, and is run by two aliens who basically cosplay Namekians. Or even the episode where they get trapped in a spaceship, which is full of abandoned kids who nearly kill them by accident. What's even harder to believe is this isn't fan fiction. These are real anime episodes in Dragon Ball Z. Episodes that feel like a fever dream and even hardcore fans barely ever recognize. Today, we're diving into Fake Namek. Weirdest, most strangely atmospheric, am I hallucinating episodes in the entirety of the Dragon Ball Z series. This is the weirdest Dragon Ball Z arc that nobody talks about. Alright, so before we jump into these set of episodes, let's discuss a few things. Most importantly, why are these the episodes that no one remembers? Most filler in Dragon Ball either blends in or feels like a side quest, but Fake Namek is so out of place that it feels like we accidentally changed the channel to another anime, and it just so happened to have Gohan and Krillin in it. Reason number two is the tone is entirely different. This arc mixes psychedelic visuals, fake landscapes, melting environments, optical illusions, and basically Scooby-Doo-esque villains. It's Dragon Ball trying their hand at sci-fi and experimental horror. And reason number three, basically everyone thinks they just imagined it. Ask fans about Fake Namek and most will be like, bro, I thought that was some dream I had in middle school. But before we get into the nitty gritty, let's rewind and set up how we even get into this insanity. So Goku has just been beaten to a pulp, fighting Vegeta. Piccolo is dead, Tien, Yamcha, Jiaozu, all dead. Basically, the Z fighters have experienced a team wipe. Bulma remembers that Piccolo and Kami shared the same life. So if Piccolo is revived, then Kami returns, which means Earth's Dragon Balls return as well, which means that everybody can get revived. Most importantly, Bulma's current boyfriend, the GOAT. Yamcha. Perfect plan. There's just one problem. Namek is really far away. So what do Bulma, Krillin, and Gohan decide to do? Naturally, they hijack Kami's old spaceship from when he was like a kid and blast off into the unknown space to find the home of the Namekians. And right there, this is where the anime writers said, okay, Toriyama didn't write anything about these in-between parts of the journey, so we're gonna get a little bit weird. Before they even get close to Fake Namek, our trio runs into a giant spaceship, and it's a massive spaceship loaded with orphan children who immediately capture them and interrogate them. And nothing says Dragon Ball space adventure like getting kidnapped by a child militia. These kids believe that Gohan, Krillin, and Bulma are henchmen of the alien tyrant who destroyed their planet. So they do what any traumatized group of space orphans would do. They try to jettison them into space. There's some fighting, some panicking, and Bulma yelling at kids for what felt like forever. The truth finally comes out. These kids aren't villains, they're refugees. Their world was destroyed, and they're just trying to fight to survive. And in turn, DBZ does something kind of wholesome here. Gohan nearly cries seeing these kids who lost their parents because, well, Gohan knows exactly what that feels like. I mean, he just went through that like a year, 6 months ago. Krillin softens his tone, and Bulma proceeds to apologize. And for a moment, you get this really cool, grounded, slice-of-life sci-fi humanity moment. And that's it. This entire sequence is this one-off, oddly emotional side mission that rarely ever gets referenced in DBZ fandom. Think of it like Dragon Ball Z, the Lost Children in Space special. But the best part is that right after this, we get the most interesting mini arc in Dragon Ball history, in my opinion, the Fake Namek arc. Here comes the filler main course. After the Space Kids detour, the crew spots a planet that looks exactly like Namek, except it's not Namek at all. But they don't know that yet, and as soon as they land, things start to feel a bit off. And that's when our friendly Namekians appear. Except Spoiler alerts, they are not Namekians. They're two aliens named Righty and Zakro, and they are running the most elaborate real estate scam in the entire galaxy. Instead of just saying, hey, you're on the wrong planet, they create illusions, control the terrain, and manipulate the environment. This is either like the most over-engineered prank ever created, or just these aliens were really bored. Now this is where things get wild. The illusion starts to really ramp up here. And the worst part here, the Z-Gang still has no idea these are illusions at all. They visit this giant castle with a giant gargoyle-like creature, venture to the depths of a cavern, and troop through a hurricane. Yet somehow none of this is actually real. They find a fake Dragon Ball inside of a very deep lake, except it's not a lake at all, and it attempts to drown them. The planet itself is basically gaslighting our trio, and throughout all of this, Gohan, the 4-year-old, seems to be the only one with logical brain cells, and Krillin's just there, trying desperately not to die. Everything else looks and appears like Dragon Ball, except like the animators were experimenting with acid. Finally, the illusions begin to collapse. The environment glitches, the walls melt, and the whole place begins to collapse. Our duo exposes these red creatures who are cowardly, completely incompetent aliens. This entire time they use their mind-reading abilities to create an illusion of a Dragon Ball hunt, orchestrated to attempt to keep our fighters occupied while they attempt to steal their ship. It's like one enormous prank or just the dumbest idea I've ever heard. After the truth comes out, the illusions vanish, the planet returns to its actual form. Rocky, barren, and terrible to live on. What's eerie to me, and also sort of clever about this mini arc, is that they drop subtle hints throughout it, like Gohan, Krillin, and Bulma venturing into this cavern to find the Dragon Balls, where they stumble upon some ancient cave paintings of monsters who appear to actually be our duo of red aliens. Upon this revelation, giant squid-like creatures appear from the depths of the body of water they're standing on. These creatures give Gohan and Krillin a fairly decent fight, but you know our Z fighters gonna stand on business. The trio leaves, and the anime transitions into the real Namek arc. And just like that, Fake Namek is never brought up again. No references, no callbacks, nothing. And it is the definition of weird Dragon Ball Forgotten filler. But what makes this arc so bizarre, even opposed to other Dragon Ball Z filler episodes and mini arcs, is visually unlike anything else in DBZ. The illusions make the environment warp, distort, and melt like a surrealist painting. It also plays with horror elements, the shifting landscapes. It can be eerie, and it also derails the plot completely. The manga goes straight to Namek. The anime takes this scenic route through a haunted funhouse. On top of that, these villains just don't matter. They disappear forever. Their existence changes absolutely nothing. All in all, the Fake Namek mini arc is an example of early DBZ anime doing whatever the hell it wanted. It's weird, trippy, kind of pointless, and strangely charming. If you watched it as a kid, you probably wondered if you actually saw that episode or if you dreamed it after eating too much Skittles or something. But no, it's very real, at least as far as filler goes. So the next time someone says Dragon Ball Z is too predictable, show them the episodes where the gang lands on a fake Namekian planet with 2 disguised aliens and go on some Scooby-Doo-esque missions. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this episode, please make sure to leave a like below, comment if you've seen these, if you remember these episodes, or if you were just a part of the newer crowd who watched Kai or Super and have nothing to do with the original DBZ fillers, which, you know, I kind of envy you in a way, but no. These are really fun. I actually really enjoy these episodes, and they just like came back to me for some reason while I was making my previous videos. And I was like, you know what, I have to make a breakdown of the Fake Namek arc. If you guys did enjoy, I have a Garlic Jr. video planned if this does well. So leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, help us hit 5K, and anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.